One, two. 1, 2, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Zaleski Sports. Good. All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Auburndale High School for the 2023 Girls Basketball Holiday Tournament. It is not really a tournament this year as there's only 3 teams, and so Auburndale will play Neillsville today, and then they'll take on Lena tomorrow. We'll have all 6 games of this invitational/tournament live here on Zaleski Sports. Steve Mabes alongside Josh Bush. Paul Jaglinski will join us in just a little while, but 2 teams, very young teams, very good young teams coming into this game today. The Auburndale Eagles 7-0 on the season, 4-0 in the Merriwood Conference. Their last game was a 13-point win against Marathon. Maya Katzenberger, the talented freshman, the leading scorer on this Auburndale team with 16 points in that win over the Red Raiders. Previously took down Rosholt back on Tuesday, December 19th, 53-17. And, 2 weeks ago already at Edgar, 42-41. They are, as mentioned, led by freshman Maya Katzenberger, 11.5 points a game. Rose Hasenhorl with 8.5. Gracie Hasenhorl with 5. Lily Belanti with 5 points a game as well. A very young team this year for Coach Dale Owie and the Auburndale Eagles. On the other side, for head coach John Geyer and the Neillsville Warriors, 2 losses on the season. They are 8-2 on the year and, as would expect, undefeated in the Clover Belt East Conference. They haven't lost in, 60 games or so, a couple of years of undefeated conference play for the Neillsville Warriors. Led by their 3-headed monster, senior Paris Opelt, averaging 15 points a game. Maddie Davel as a freshman, 14.5 points a game, and Sydney Supke with 12 points a game. Sydney is a junior, Opelt a senior, and Davel is a freshman. They average 60 points a game, only give up 31, but in the 2 losses that they had this year, they lost to McDonell Central. McDonell, of course, a perennial favorite in the state every year to make a trip down to the state tournament and compete for a gold ball in Green Bay in March. And then their other loss came on Monday, December 11th to Fall Creek, a 36-33 loss. Neillsville, as they can put up a lot of points and big-time numbers, kind of fell to their younger team demise, only scoring 6 points in the second half in that loss to Fall Creek about 2.5 weeks ago. Coming up for Neillsville after the game today, they will take on Colby on Thursday, I had December written on here. Crossed it out, January 4th against Colby. Monday, January 8th, they will be at Assumption. That'll be a nice big-time game after the new year, and then Tuesday the 9th, they are at Spencer to continue conference play. After the new year, again, I don't want to look too far ahead, don't want to put anybody ahead of anybody else, but Neillsville, a pretty favorable second half of the season as they, again, will play Assumption and Moe's Knee on a Saturday, and then they will also head down to Bangor to take on the Bangor Cardinals before the end of the season. So, again, pretty favorable schedule for Neillsville the second half of the season. We'll see how things all pan out. Auburndale going to be looking for a run at a conference title. We'll get more into the Eagles' upcoming schedule maybe at halftime as they, again, 4-0 in the Merriwood Conference. About a half a game, I think, or a game behind Assumption. They haven't played Stratford yet because when they were scheduled to play Stratford, the first game of the regular season, Stratford, of course, was down at the state football championships on, I believe that was November 16th. So it is trying to figure out all that out and reschedule things as it goes. So national anthem time. We will step aside for a national anthem, hear from a couple of our sponsors, come back with your starting lineups. You're watching high school girls basketball on Zaleski Sports.
Bauer & Fine has been based in Marshfield since 1955. And if you're in business that long, you're obviously doing many things right. We always focus on selling world-class products, backing it up with world-class customer support.
Working with Brown Fine Business Technologies has been a pleasure. We have staff on call that we can call if we ever have issues, and the printer usability has been really easy, user-friendly.
Give us a call, visit our website. We'd be happy to come in, talk to you. Maybe there's a way we can help you save some money and work more efficiently.
Central Wisconsin Glass is Central Wisconsin's choice for your next new or remodeled shower and bathroom. The experts at Central Wisconsin Glass will effortlessly guide you through the design and installation process. Have the elegant and modern shower and bathroom you've been looking for. Call Central Wisconsin Glass at 715-387-8010. That's 715-387-8010. And Central Wisconsin Glass on Facebook for your residential, commercial, and vehicle glass needs.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our #1 selling tractors are built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota subcompact or compact tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months and save $1,000. See your local Kubota dealer today.
Your local Kubota dealer is Chili Implement, located 1 mile north of Highway 10 in Chili.
One of 21 on the network for you today here on Seletsky Sports. 2 already finished up. We had Columbus Catholic and Marathon, both winners today. Earlier on the boys' side, down in Mequon. Starting lineups first for the Neillsville Warriors. Junior number 10 is Gracie Shangarth. 14 is Maddie Davel. 23 is Sydney Subke, Paris Opelt, and Jess Kuhn. And now for the Auburndale Eagles, the host team, or the home team once again this year, is freshman Gracie Hasenhorl. 22 is Sydney Wolf, a sophomore. 24 is Rose Hasenhorl. 34 is Maya Krings. And the freshman is Maya Katzenberger, of course, head coached by Dale Owie. John Geyer, the head guy for the Neillsville Warriors. Game going on in Loyal right now. Loyal Greyhounds, Roshold Hornets, Brendan Retzloff, Chase Lions over there. Steve Mapes, Josh Bush here. Got a whole host down in Mequon for the weekend, or for the week. Again, 21 games on the network today, all throughout. 6 down in Mequon, 3 here, 2 in Loyal, 2 in Wolpaca, 2 in Amherst. Going to be a jump ball here. Everybody else back. And the jump ball is smacked over to Neillsville. A little gamemanship or something going on there. Paris Opelt, the runner, off the mark. Tipped around. Ball still on the floor, and it's going to be picked up by Auburndale and then traveled with it. Early turnover by the Eagles. Neillsville averaging 60.5 points a game. Paris Opelt, the leading scorer, 1,000-point scorer, buries a 3. That's a 97 three-pointer made by Neillsville this year. There's a jumper away off the mark. Saved into the hands of Katzenberger. Pull-up jumper is up, and it is good. Coming into the game today, Neillsville was second in the state and made 3-pointers. Just a 1 behind Neenah, now tied with Neenah. Don't believe the Rockets are playing yet today. Opelt with it now. Pull-up J is up and good. Paris Opelt, quick 5 for Neillsville. 5-2 Warriors. That's going to be taken away by Paris. into the front court. Up ahead, left hand is good. Maddie Dable. And going to be turned over again right into the hands of Sydney Supke. Timeout. Auburndale. Quick 9 on the board for the Warriors. Back after this on Zaleski Sports.
Witness the difference of a Catholic education at Columbus Catholic Schools.
I think everyone should just know what makes this place special.
Come and see. That's just what the Lord always said, and put your toe in the water. There are great schools, and it's a good fit. I'd always want them to come and to just feel the goodness and the family atmosphere.
I invite everyone just to come in and see what it's about and to see if it might be right for them and their family.
We invite you to schedule a tour today.
16:35 to go here in the opening half in Auburndale. Neillsville's up 9-2. Again, as a team, Neillsville was 96 of 262 from beyond the arc coming into today. Now 97 of 263. Skip across for the Eagles. Down low to Katzenberger. Turns and gets fouled on the shot. And Maya Katzenberger will head to the free throw line for a couple of throws. They've already made 200 and coming in 221. 221 of 538. That's a lot of shots put up by Neillsville so far this year. Katzenberger off the mark on the free throw. Coming in 11.5 points a game, 52% from the line for the freshman Katzenberger. And she goes 1 for 2 from the line this time. Right at that 50% mark so far. Up ahead. There's Kuhn for 3. Is good. Jess Kuhn buries the 3. Likely going to be the first team in the state to 100 made three-pointers this year. There's a travel and a turnover on Auburndale. An SCS apartment or home is where you want to live, work, and play all throughout central Wisconsin, the Chippewa Valley, and the Fox Valley. No matter where you live, look to SC Swiderski to make you feel right at home. Neillsville up 9, 12-3, just underway. 2 minutes in. Opel gets a screen from Kuhn. Swings it back around to Shane Garth, left wing. There's a 3 for the freshman. Man, oh man, can they shoot. Dable for 3. 15-3, Neillsville. Pass up ahead, swings it around to the baseline. All the way to the basket, got fouled, and count it. Hasenhorl head to the line for +1. Hasenhorl, excuse me. Sydney Wolf, my apologies. Sydney Wolf on the hoop and the harm. Kylie Anderson checks in, as well as Hope Schulte. Emerson Orman checks in for Neillsville. Wolf trying to complete the end one. And it's off the mark. Rebounded by Opelt for Neillsville. Working left to right as you watch on your screen. 3 made threes already in the first half, or in the first couple minutes of this one for the Warriors. Shane Garth with it. Swings it around. Maddie Dable. It's a screen from Kuhn. Kuhn didn't roll. Right side for Opelt. Bears got 5 quick ones here in this one. Down low, turns it over. Opelt with the turnover. Hasenhorl up ahead, tipped out of bounds by Paris Opelt. Staying with the staying with the Eagles with 14:56 to go in the opening half. Glad you're joining us. Glad you're with us here on this Thursday after Christmas. Kylie Anderson on the right wing. Swings it around. Left side. Back out to Anderson. Right side for Rose Hasenhorl. Now Kylie Anderson skips it back over to Rose in the corner. Down low, bad pass. Taken away by Neillsville. Ball's on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball to Auburndale with 14:23 to go in the opening 18 minutes. (15-5) Neillsville. Again, 3 3-pointers already in this first half. Quick release 3 is good. Wow, Rose Hasenhorl, the freshman. Hasenhorl, that was a quick release 3 on the inbounds play. And Kylie Anderson is going to pick up the foul. Down to a 7-point deficit, 14-10 to go. Both teams just trying to figure each other out early on here. Rose averages 8.5 points a game, the second leading scorer on this Auburndale team. The top leading scorers, both freshmen for Auburndale. Paris Opelt, right side for Kuhn. Back over to Opelt against Hasenhorl. Spins in the lane, turns, and can't finish. Rebound taken by the Eagles. And going to be knocked away. And right into the hands of Paris Opelt. Bodied hard. Maddie Dave will head to the line for a couple of free throws. 15-8, Neillsville, 13:38 to go. It's a new year and a new you at Blues Hair Studio on North Central Avenue in Marshfield. The stylists at Blues Hair Studio are ready to help you be the best version of yourself. Book your appointment for a fresh start in 2024 at Blues Hair Studio in Marshfield. First one for Maddie Dave is good. 13:38 to go here in the opening half. Dave's second free throw is off the mark. Rebound taken by Kylie Anderson. Anderson maybe double dribbled, and she did. Oh. Give me a foul on Neillsville instead. Glad to be joined here now by buddy Paul Jaglinski. Paul, welcome.
Hot start. I'll tell you what, it's one of those deals where Neillsville came out and true to their form, lit the nets on fire. This young Auburndale team really went ahead and I thought sustained the run. It's going to be a good ball game, Steve.
There's going to be a whistle, and official says that she didn't reestablish herself and was out of bounds. Coming in, we knew Neillsville can light up the net, as you mentioned. Defense just as impressive so far for the Warriors. Here today against, as you mentioned, a young but pretty talented Auburndale team as Opelt off the front rim. Jess Kuhn with it, hands it off. Swings back around to Opelt. Paris had the first 5 for Neillsville. She gets fouled and will put it in, and 1 for the talented senior Paris Opelt. The hoop and the harm for the over 1,000-point score now in her career.
One thing you can see about Paris is that year over year, her progression has really improved. You can see it in volleyball as well, where she's grown into her body and she uses her size and length so well now, Steve. She really is impressive no matter what the sport it is.
18-8 Neillsville. Another substitution for Coach Geyer. Braylon Anding into the game for Neillsville. Paris Opelt with 8 here early on. 19-8 Neillsville. Hasenhorl with it. It's double teamed and going to be taken away by Maddie Dave, and she puts it in, the freshman, for 2 more.
One of the things that's always impressive, Steve, about Coach Geyer is his ability to adapt to his team. So in years past, you saw a little bit more of a trapping zone out of a 2-3 look. This year, you can see he's up in more of a 1-2-2 and willing to extend that pressure.
Kylie Anderson buries the 3 for Auburndale. 21-11 now. Warriors still on top.
This Auburndale team, Steve, is dangerous. They're going to be really excellent in the next couple of years as this young core group of players develops. You know, just, again, like we talked about with Paris, growing into their body.
Neillsville with 1 senior, that is Paris Opelt. Auburndale with 2 seniors. And Kylie Anderson, a talented sophomore, just off the mark. Maya Katzenberger, the leading scorer for Auburndale, number 42, just a freshman. And Kylie Anderson with the steal for Auburndale.
Kylie Anderson's got an outstanding motor. Did not give up on that play. Tracked it down. Gave Auburndale another important possession here.
Another talented freshman, Lily Belanti, into the game, number 21 for Auburndale. And you talk about Coach Geyer adapting to his team, and again, it's not so much more in high school sports as a rebuild, I guess, but just I don't even know what the word is, but you just keep on plugging in, replug maybe, I don't know, but Neillsville has been good obviously for a long time, and you don't get that way without obviously good coaching, but also very talented young ladies playing ball.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, both of these programs have got two excellent youth programs that starts with youth coaching, a commitment to skill development. It's why each year they're able to just go ahead and put a competitive product on the floor year after year. You know, same deal with Coach Howie. I think he does an excellent job with his girls. You know, Auburndale graduated a very senior-laden team last year, so to start 7-0 and really with staying, I think, hot shooting by Neillsville to start and only be down 10 at this point with 10:59 to go in this game is pretty impressive. I'm excited to see both of these teams live.
Maya Krings back into the game for Auburndale. There's 34 as Belanti fixes the ponytail. We're ready back to go here in the first half.
I have never had to fix my ponytail problem, so.
Belanti over to Hasenhorl. Krings back over to Belanti. Down low to Katzenberger. Turns against Kuhn. Can't finish. Rebounded by Opelt for the Warriors. Again, the three-headed monster for Neillsville has sustained itself so far. There's an open three on the left wing. And off the mark, offensive rebound. There's a travel, and Jess Kuhn ran into her own player. That was Kaylee Lawrence, number 20, got run into by Jess Kuhn on the rebound. But you have Opelt, Maddie Dable, and Sydney Supke, the three-headed scorers for Neillsville. And through the hands of Hope Schulte. Opelt against Belanti. Cutting all the way to lane, up and got it to go. The hoop and the arm for Olivia Langrek, and she'll head to line for +1.
One excellent move there by Olivia. Went ahead and caught that ball, ripped hard low, and then made an excellent finish in the lane. No indecisiveness, willing to go to her offhand. Really a nice play. We'll see if she can complete the old-fashioned three-point play.
10:22 to go in the opening half. And off the mark, rebound taken by Krings and Auburndale. Up ahead to Hasenhorl, and Belanti recovers for the Eagles here in the opening half. Tough pass there, taken away by Kuhn. She stepped out of bounds with 10:07 to go in the opening half. Didn't mention it coming into today, 21 games on the network today, Paul. We already had two done. I think 3 or 4 going on right now, but everybody talks about the start of the season as Belanti gets the inbounds pass and off the mark, but a lot of tournaments going on now, a lot of invitationals and whatnot, but one of the better times of the year in high school basketball in the state of Wisconsin. Jess Kuhn is off the mark, rebounded by Katzenberger.
Yeah, congratulations to the Marathon Red Raiders, who I thought picked up 2 really high-quality wins down at the yearbook shootout as we get a steal by Olivia.
All the way to the basket, up and in for Layla Walk. But, yeah, two big-time wins against the Prairie School this morning. And
Kettle Moraine Lutheran
yesterday. Yep. That's what it was.
And, again, Kettle Moraine Lutheran, that's a high-quality team. Again, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Marathon got 27 from Tyler Underwood yesterday. So, again, Marathon continues to prove one of the best Division IV teams in the state. Good for them for going down there getting tested. It was nice to see Columbus Catholic back in the win column today as well. I thought they picked up another high-quality win. Honestly, Steve, 21 games on the network, I'm not sure that many of them are going to be better than what you're looking at, here in Auburndale, where, Neillsville once again ranked in Division 4, and Auburndale with a 7-0 start, a win here, they probably find themselves in next week's ranking as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and have a couple of big-time games. Oh, they're going to call 3 seconds, and then they're going to – because 3 seconds or a foul call. But later tonight, down in Mequon, as Mark Miller puts on an outstanding shootout, the Rick Majerus Foundation and all that stuff. But number 1 against number 2 in Division I, Marquette University High School against De Pere. De Pere 39 wins in a row, or 38 or whatever it is. But a lot of, obviously, high-quality basketball down there, a lot of high-quality basketball up here as well. 3 games here. We got 2 in Stratford, a handful all over the state on Zaleski Sports this week.
In the holiday spirit, would you say you've got 3 at the yearbook, 2 at Stratford, and a part? No, never mind. That's a different, maybe a different subject altogether. So,
Katzenberger has been silent so far. Just a free throw to her name.
As a freshman, Steve, she's a good-looking post player. She's strong. She's shown the ability to put the ball on the floor a little bit. She has not got one to fall yet, but it's not changed her effort defensively. She looks like she's going to be part of this young core. Really a nice ball player for Auburndale.
Kuhn sets the screen. The game is really grim, number 32 for Auburndale. Right side for Opelt. 8:26 to go, opening half. Good defense by Belanti, taken away from Opelt. Lily, an outstanding volleyball player, getting it done on the basketball court as well. Pull-up J for Maya Krings is good. 25-13. Neillsville still looking for three-pointer number 100 on the year. Second in the state coming in, likely number 1. I haven't seen Nina play yet today. I don't even know if they're playing this week, but Nina had 97 coming in, Neillsville 96. Made three-pointers, and Neillsville shot them pretty lights out early on in this one. Have been slow from beyond the arc since.
It's interesting to see Neillsville's offense against the man where it's a 5-out, looking at kind of a dribble drive. And a lot of times you get a lot of teams that pick and roll. In their case, they're kind of picking and flaring, looking for that three-point basket.
Maddie Dable will head back to the line for a couple of free throws. Have a big one going on right now in Mequon. We got Kaukauna at Stoughton. Stoughton jumped out to a big-time lead against a very talented Kaukauna team, and now Kaukana's up by 3 with 8 minutes to go down at Concordia University.
For as long as I can remember, Kaukauna boys basketball has been tougher than a long weekend at your in-laws. It's just they are just year in, year out, just one of the best programs in the state. They do just an excellent job. They're fun to watch. The Galloping Ghosts are always competitive.
Dable at the line for her second free throw, and it is up, and it is good. Ben Brecht will have the call for the 2 boys games tonight. Neillsville and WIAA Fremont, I believe, and then Auburndale and Augusta, or other way around. Not really sure, but no, Auburndale's got the late game. Just not really sure exactly who their opponent is, but the others here are Augusta, WIAA, and Neillsville, as it has been the last number of years. So we've been covering this tournament anyway. Jess Kuhn all the way to the basket. Top of the key for Maddie Dable, one of the talented freshmen, blocked there by Taylor Anderson. Up ahead to Grimm, steps through Paris and can't finish. And it's going to be a jump ball to Neillsville with 6:54 to go. Paul, I was kind of talking to myself on the way here, as I usually do.
Highly intelligent conversation for those wondering at home, by the way, when Steve starts talking with himself.
But I was thinking to myself, knowing the possibility of having you on the network or today for this game. We can talk a little bit more about it at halftime. But just get your juices flowing about how different and how what goes into trying to coach against these two teams, knowing Neillsville is as good as they have been, Auburndale as good as they have been. We'll get into more of that at halftime, but two very talented teams, as we mentioned, the last number of years.
Yeah, at a high level, Steve, here's what I'll tell you. You've got two of the absolute best coaches in Central Wisconsin, if not the state. There's a nice drive there.
Maddie Dable off the mark, rebounded by Katzenberger.
Coach Howie for Auburndale always has his kids prepared, and you know they're going to play hard. He's willing to make an adjustment. And Coach Geyer for years, 20 if I'm not mistaken, has just consistently led his group of young ladies to a ranking in Division IV. Some contact up front, and there's the steal.
Anderson all the way to the basket. Good defense on the back end. It's going to be another jump ball. Good hustle down there by, see if we can get you a number for Neillsville, number 20, I think it was. Kaylee Lawrence not giving up on the play, making the block, getting the jump ball call.
I think when Kylie looks at that back on film, she's going to want to go ahead and try to get down the floor a little bit more. I don't think that she realized the lead that she had on it. And to Neillsville's credit, never giving up on a play is a staple of Coach Geyer and his girls.
Really Grimm pull-up jumper is good. Breeley's first bucket, another freshman on this Auburndale team.
You know, Auburndale hanging right around in this game. You know, Neillsville got off to that hot start. They built that 12-point lead early, and since then Auburndale essentially has settled in and played them even, and that's without getting a lot of contributions from their big.
Yep, absolutely, and that's one thing, you know, with these two teams, at least the couple of years that I've been watching, covering, their defense is going to be top-notch. They're not going to give you a lot of good looks.
Yeah, and I should clarify that, Steve. I mean offensive contribution from the big, because I do believe that Katzenberger has done a really nice job defensively in this game. I don't believe she's gotten herself in the scorebook.
Yeah, one free throw, and then Paris Opelt flies with her 6-foot frame, pulls up, and knocks down a shot. But
she's going to help herself today. According to Wisport, she averages about 4 steals a game. If I'm not mistaken, that's her 4th steal since I've been here. So in a good spot where she's got that good anticipation and uses her length well.
Katzenberger back up. Pull-up is short. Rebounded by Opelt. Shot there by Chesney Nagel, number 12. Recognize a lot of these names from a young volleyball team that Auburndale had this year as well.
Well, and when you talk about Grimm, when you talk about Krings, there's a lot of younger sisters from some very good ball players that have come through the Auburndale system.
Pull-up jumper on the right wing is good for Lawrence. That's Kaylee Lawrence for Neillsville, 31-15 Warriors. And Coach Howie will take a timeout. 4 minutes to go, opening half, 31-15 Neillsville. Back after this break, Zaleski Sports.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
For over 50 years, the Dental Clinic of Marshfield has served the area with the talent and expertise of big city dentistry with a hometown feel. With our multi-specialty staff and board-certified periodontist, orthodontist, and pediatric dentist, Dental Clinic of Marshfield has solutions for our patients of all ages from 1 to 100. We take pride in being in-network with an array of insurance companies to meet the needs of our community and our patients. No matter what your dental need, the Dental Clinic of Marshfield will be there for you.
Welcome back to Auburndale High School. Neillsville, Auburndale girls basketball here today. We'll have Auburndale Lena tomorrow, another good team, and Lena coming to Auburndale tomorrow. Have that game 3 o'clock for you in the afternoon. 3:45 to go here in the opening half.
Is that what happens when you get tired and you play basketball against the wall? You Lena
Lena against the wall. Yeah. Yeah, Lena, a pretty talented team from the north this year.
One of the favorites to come out of that Northeast sectional. Obviously, they're in with state-ranked Wabeno. I think that's going to be a good ball game. And don't count out Sevastopol up there, who's having a nice year. But Lena's going to be kind of right in that mix, in that 1, 2, 3 seed. That game against Auburn, it will go a long way for them, I think.
We'll see Wabeno Leona On January 2nd, they'll be down in Stevens Point, take on the Pacelli Cardinals. Non-conference girls game right after the new year.
One thing that I always give Wabeno credit for is that, they went and played Randolph last year. They came to Assumption and played, us at Assumption last year. They are definitely willing to step out of that northeast corridor to find some competition in some games. They run that good hard-nosed man. Wabeno consistently one of the best programs, in Division 5. Good pass, and there's going to be a jump ball. Good pass from Belanti down to Grimm. Grimm is blocked, and then a jump ball sticking with Auburndale here with 3:03 to go as Paris Hopelt. A quick breather for Neillsville, the lone senior on this Warriors team, as she'll check in for Sydney Supke. Yep, yeah, I think that's correct call. I think they didn't switch the jump ball arrow on the one that on the chase down play here a couple of minutes ago. That's a good catch by the officiating crew. Again, with these three on the floor, one of the better crews in the area. In terms of where it goes, they're always pretty in tune with the score table. They're part of the team and vice versa in terms of where it goes. So good work by everybody to make sure you get that correct.
Walk with it now. Skips it over. Taken away by Anderson. Give the steal there to Grimm for Auburndale. And the boys' games tonight starting at 6 o'clock. And that one's off the leg of Belanti. Taken away by Layla Walk against Belanti. She's going to get fouled. And Layla will head to the line for a couple of free throws.
If you've not got a chance to watch the Auburndale boys yet, make sure you turn in. Coach Weinfurter's son is really has got a. Coach Weinfurter's got a very talented group led by his son again. Should be excellent and fun to watch.
Yeah, don't know much about Augusta, but WIAA always pretty competitive. Neillsville, of course, competitive, and then you got Auburndale, who's usually top tier in the Merriwood South, and see how things pan out in the two games tonight. And then, again, 6 and 7:30 tonight. 3, 6, and 7:30 tomorrow. Girls starting at 3 o'clock.
For those of you following on the network, Loyal is beating Rosholt 27-11 in the first half with a minute to go. For those that are interested in that ball game over just to the west of us.
The boys game of that doubleheader at 2:30 tonight, or this afternoon. I knew I'd say it. I mean, it'll probably come up a couple of times tomorrow, but just a force of habit saying nighttime compared to, I know Cale Jacoby doing the Columbus game yesterday, Mike Wenlett this morning doing the marathon game said good evening or whatever in a 9:15 a.m. game this morning, as that one's going to be turned over back to Neillsville with 1:52 to go.
Now, the rumor has it that Mike just went to bed, did not go to bed, so in his defense, it is still evening. So it's I gather that the Zaleski crew is partying pretty hard down there as they take a look at the opportunity to partner with Mark Miller and cover that yearbook tournament. So many high-quality games. Really cool to see the network continue to expand and to be able to bring in all that great high school basketball for free.
Yeah, Mark Miller, a big friend of ours on the Zaleski Sports Network. He's going to be tipped away and staying with Neillsville with 98. Oh, the clock continues to run. Yep, there you go. 7 seconds or so ran off. Should be at 90 or 138 or 139.
18 minutes would be probably. I don't think that much time came off. So. Got to reset it. Again,
there we go.
The Auburndale table is consistently one of the best tables around. Yeah. They do a nice job all the way across the board.
31-15, Neillsville on top, opening half here in Auburndale High School. Good crowd on hand for this matchup. It's good to have teams. I mean, Augusta's not that far away. WIAA's a bit of a trip, but good to have local-ish teams come and play in these games. There's a foul. Good cut there by Langreck, and she'll head back to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
Just finishing up that thought on the boys' game, the first game with Marathon Auburndale is here Tuesday, January 9th.
Yep.
And then the rematch is at home for Marathon on February 22nd. I mean, those are two games that will most likely go a long way in deciding the conference. And I think both teams kind of have themselves circled for maybe a sectional date as well, as Opelt with another nice rebound and put back. And now Neillsville has stretched this lead out to 19.
Yeah, two teams that have played each other many times, not obviously in the regular season, but also in the postseason. Marathon in the early 2010s, 2010-ish times, a frequent flyer down to Madison, and Auburndale in the mid 2010s, a pretty consistent team heading down to the state tournament.
Yeah,
knocked out of bounds with 42 seconds left.
The last Auburndale boys basketball state championship, 2013. In terms of where it goes. But again, Coach Weinfurter, we talk about two great coaches here, Coach Weinfurter and Coach Jacobson from Marathon. Again, two of the absolute better boys coaches in the area as well.
Hope Schulte gets the inbounds. 40 seconds to go.
Hope with a little Christmas colored shoes going on. She's got the green and red sock with the little yellow kicks there. Josh can get in on those and show us maybe those later in terms of where it goes, but that's definitely in the holiday spirit.
25 seconds to go. Paris Opeld with it for the Warriors. Back to 20 seconds. Maddie Dable got it poked away by Schulte. Opeld hits the floor, gets up slowly under the basket with 10 seconds to go. Langreich over to Dable. 5 seconds to go. Cutting is Opeld. The Eagles lost her, and that will do it here in the first half. Neillsville stretched out, as Paul mentioned, to 19. It is 18 minutes in the books. It is Neillsville 34 and Auburndale 15. Back after this quick break, Zaleski Sports.
Let your job journey begin at Express Employment Professionals. Find hundreds of employers looking for a candidate like you, all in one place at one time. And let Express Employment help connect you with your future career. With locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Marshfield, and Medford, you'll find local jobs right in your community, including direct hire and evaluation to hire opportunities. Express Employment specializes in light industrial, skilled trades, professional, and office careers. Begin your job journey today with Express Employment Professionals at expresspros.com.
I had an employee at once ask me to prioritize family, faith, and business, and I put them in that order in particular. For each one of our employees, it's family first. You do what is best for you and your family. Then the rest of it will take care of itself. It's about making sure you make the best decisions for you and your family.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale, we have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Welcome back to Auburndale High School. Steve Mays, Paul Jaglinski, Josh Bush here this afternoon. Scoring first for Auburndale, Kylie Anderson with 3, Gracie Hasenhorl with 2, Sydney Wolf's got 2, Rose Hasenhorl's got 3, Breeley Grimm's got 2, Maya Krings with 2, and Maya Katzenberger with 1. Score update from Concordia University in Mequon. Stoughton 77, Kaukauna 76 with 13 seconds to go. It is a Kaukauna timeout, Stoughton basketball, so we'll keep our eye on that one. For Neillsville, Lila Walk's got 2, Maddie Davel's got 10, Kaylee Lawrence has got 2, Olivia Langrek with 3, Sydney Supke with 2, Paris Opelt with 12, and Jess Kuhn with 3. First half score 34-15. Other games on the network tonight. Again, we got a lot of them for you. Games going on right now. Kaukauna Stoughton, Loyal Rocheltz, Neillsville Auburndale coming up the rest of the afternoon. Get your pencil and paper ready. Here we go. Loyal Rocheltz boys at 2:30. Onalaska is taking on Marshfield at 3:15. That's a game down in Mequon. The start of the Eau Claire Memorial Shootout. DC Everest is at Eau Claire Memorial Girls at 4. The number 1 and number 2 teams in the state and Division I boys at 4:45. That's De Pere and Marquette. Waupaca is home against Winneconne. Probably should change that around on the website, but we'll get all that figured out later on. Wausau East is taking on Lakeland at Stratford. Hudson is taking on Hortonville in Eau Claire. Augusta takes on Neillsville here at 6 o'clock. Newman Catholic is taking on Amherst at 6 o'clock in girls. Hudson takes on Marshfield at 6:30 in Marshfield. Waupaca and Winneconne boys at 7. Newman, Amherst boys at 7:30. Waiwega Auburndale here at 7:30. Madison Memorial takes on Eau Claire Memorial at 7:30. Owen Withee against Stratford at 7:30. Nicolay and Dominican at 7:45. In case you didn't want to listen to, in case you got lost on my rant there, check them all out, ZaleskiSports.com.
A couple of interesting notes there. So Madison Memorial and Eau Claire Memorial, now Val Phillips, I guess technically, that's the first meeting of those two premier teams in the state. There was a really nice article online about those two matching up at the tournament, so I thought that was kind of an interesting ball game. And not that you need to hype number 1 versus number 2 with Marquette and De Pere more, but at one point, Steve, De Pere was ranked 23rd in the nation nationally. So I mean, when you think about some of the absolute best high school basketball teams across the country, you're talking at one point, De Pere, I'm not sure if they still are or not, but as of a couple weeks ago, De Pere was ranked top 25 in the nation. To have them on the network facing the other highly ranked team in Wisconsin, that's must-see TV. You got to check that out.
Marquette is coming off of a state football championship, right? Didn't Marquette win the state football? Maybe not. I don't think so. Division I, maybe.
It's one of those deals. I'm gonna defer to your knowledge on that, Steve.
Well, it's not much.
you are in much greater know than what I am at this point. I could probably help you out with some D5 high school girls scouting. Besides for that, I'm not sure. I'm good for much information there. Although I did want to ask your opinion. What are your thoughts on the Packers suspending Jari?
I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things where he didn't ever go on the IR with a shoulder injury. There was a lot of talk about him coming back, and then didn't come back. And it is what it is. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings did announce a starting quarterback. Oh, I don't know where it went, but a rookie 5th rounder. So assuming that it is what it is, I would guess Justin Jefferson has 250 yards receiving. The new quarterback, probably 400 yards. And
congratulations to the rookie quarterback and being NFC Offensive Player of the Week. That seems to be a staple of the Joe Barry defense. So.
Yeah.
But again, it is nice to be in Week 17, which sounds so unusual, and to have your team still be in it.
Yep.
I think considering as young as they are, that's pretty interesting in terms of where it goes. So speaking of young as they are, back to this particular ball game. So Auburndale got bogged down a little bit. So Neillsville got off to a fast start. Auburndale made a nice little run, but they've been bogged down on 15 points for a little while. To Coach always credited, he was very patient with his young team. Tried to call the timeout to get them settled. They weren't able to take a look at it. But I think this first 3-4 minute stretch is really important for them, because if you can cut it from 19 to 12, make yourself a little bit of run, you get yourself back into it, this game gets real competitive. If for whatever reason, you come out in these first 4 minutes, Neillsville starts again the way they started that second half, once you get into that 26, 30-point range, it's pretty hard to go ahead and turn that momentum around. So I think a pretty important start to this half here for our ball game.
Coach Howie sending out a different starting lineup than he had to start the game. All different starters except for Sydney Wolf and Rose Hasenhorl. Lily Belanti, number 21, in to start. Hope Schulte as well as Maya Krings. So 2 new starters, I should say. Sydney Wolf, 22. Rose Hasenhorl and Maya Krings, the other starters.
So here is that 2-3, 2-1-2 trapping zone that you're very used to seeing from Neillsville. So if for anybody that's coached against Coach Geyer, you know that preparing for this zone is one of the staples that you're going to have to do if you're going to play this Neillsville team. They've been taught that, I think, at the age of 4. I think you establish a residency in Neillsville, and then they teach you that zone. So it's pretty interesting to see in terms of where it goes. But good opportunity for Neillsville to go out and work at it. And I see Auburndale has now come out and made the adjustment, and they're going to play a little zone against them from what the look of it is.
Extending just a little bit. Opelt, a long three-pointer, is airballed and saved and out of bounds into the hands of John Geyer, trying to persuade our buddy Lonnie Sankey to change the call. It's Auburndale basketball with 17-10 to go in the ball game. Extending this pressure now into the backcourt. Belanti back over to Krings.
I would say that's probably a 1-2-2, Steve, but it's got 1-3-1 principles where they're really working hard to take away the middle, trying to force that long pass.
Krings back over to Belanti. Lily, a high arcing 3 left short, chases her own rebound and then traveled with it with 16:45 to go. Clock forgets to stop again.
Good looking shot, good hustle on the rebound. Unfortunately, just couldn't get her feet underneath her before she kind of went back up.
Mutual Owasso Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses. It's 1875. Visit mutualowasso.com to find an agent near you. Pull-up J is up and strong, rebounded by Maya Krings. Krings from behind, Jess Kuhn, what a play. And a little shove there against Gracie Shangarth, but a nice play by Jess Kuhn, not giving up on the play, stealing it, and then dribbling out of trouble.
Outstanding awareness to go down, go ahead and dribble it back up, start that break. Again, coach's daughter working hard. It's a really nice heads-up play there from Jessica Kuhn.
Maddie Dable with it, skips it over to Kuhn in the corner. Sydney Supke has been quiet tonight. Opelt with it, swings it around to Shangarth. Back over to Opelt near midcourt. 16 minutes to go. Shangarth open for 3 is in and out. Rebounded by Hasenhorl for Auburndale. Into the front courts. Goes Rose, swings around Belanti. Sydney Wolf turns and finishes.
Nice little right-hand finish. And again, first bucket of the second half here in terms of where it goes. We'll see if Auburndale can get another stop. Be interesting to see how Neillsville continues to attack this zone. Right now, getting that high post touch and then kicking out to wings and kind of a 2-1-2 look.
Opelt pull-up jumper on the baseline is good.
That would be my suggestion on how you would attack it, is give it to Paris and allow her to just go ahead and shoot it. I think that's a terrific luxury to have.
Hasenhorl with it. Rose crosses midcourt, got it poked away momentarily, and somehow threw it away. Jess Kuhn had her head turned. Hope Schulte just couldn't chase it down. 15-12 to go.
In high school girls basketball, that ball pressure is such a separator. You see it at that high level if you get a chance to watch Arrowhead or Hortonville. At that high level, that they're able to pressure it, and you can see that that's right now just continuing to cause some disruption from Auburndale.
Subke for three, and it's good. There's a three-pointer for Sydney Subke. That is 100 made three-pointers on the year already for Neillsville. Not yet into the new year. We're only in game number 11 for the Warriors. Left side for Belanti. Top of the key for Krings. Back over to Belanti. She fires a three. Is too strong. Jumping high. Sky and high is Paris Opelt. Up ahead to Sydney Subke. Pull-up jumper is off the mark. Rebounded by Maya Krings. 14 and a half minutes to go. Up ahead to Rose Hasenhorl. And it's off her fingers and out of bounds. 39-17 Neillsville. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Saab Construction. They're a premier builder of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment systems in the Midwest. Saab Construction has been partnering with private and public customers since 1984. Saab Construction has its own service and fabrication department to assist with any municipal or industrial situation. Saab Construction, 100% employee-owned company.
There's 101 made threes in the year, Steve, as Paris Opelt says from way downtown, bang!
Nice pass down low. Wolf tried to dribbled it off of a foot, and Opelt comes away with it with 14 minutes to go.
Just like in that first half, all of a sudden you've seen a little mini scoring burst.
Rebound taken by Belanti. A foul is going to be called on Maddie Dable for Neillsville. 14 minutes to go.
Yeah, you've seen that little mini scoring burst, and all of a sudden you've taken a 17-point game and pushed it out to 25. And now you're kind of right in that danger zone if you're Auburndale, where you want to continue to go ahead and play hard, but you don't want this thing to get any further away from you, in terms of where it goes.
Final score from Mequon. Stoughton 77, Kaukauna 76. It looked like Kaukauna had a shot at it at the buzzer and could not get it to go. There's a three-pointer for Auburndale. Rose Hasenhorl buries the three, her second three of the game.
Good-looking shooter, really a nice quick release, nice and high, nice shot.
Kuhn at the free throw line, back out to Subke, right elbow. Opelt open for three. It is off the front rim. Offense rebound for Sydney Subke. Sydney didn't play a whole lot in the first half, getting a lot more time here. She picked up 2 quick fouls in that first half. Kuhn at the right elbow. Back over to Opelt. Goes baseline. Pull-up jumper is off the mark. Rebounded by Katzenberger.
Really a nice rebound by Katzenberger. Strong board. Got up high for it.
And another turnover on Auburndale.
It's interesting, Steve, just watching that pressure just speed Auburndale up a little bit. It just your offense is just not as crisp. They're playing a little bit faster, a little bit differently than I'm sure what Coach Hall would like to see him play at the current moment.
Right side for Orman. Top of the key for Opelt against Belanti. All the way to the basket. 6-foot frame, hard to defend, and with a quick first step like Paris has got, back up now to a 24-point game.
Not to mention the fact that it's a rail finish where with that length on the outside arm, good luck trying to go ahead and block that.
Katzenberger in and out. Couldn't get it to go.
She's had so many good looks today where she just can't seem to go ahead and shake that off the rim.
It's going to be no foul call. Let them keep playing, and now they're going to get together a jump ball or a foul, or an out of bounds. It's going to be out of bounds to Neillsville with 12:08 to go.
One of my favorite parts of this crew is that they really communicate well. They're not afraid to go ahead and talk it over. What do you have? Bring some information down. Ultimately, let that lead official go ahead and make that call. It just makes some sense.
They pointed to Neillsville.
So ultimately what they're saying on that is that they're calling it a jump ball. Coach Geyer thought it was a jump ball, but our official came in and brought some good information. She was touching it out of bounds. As a result, you're talking about white basketball.
Belanti takes it in the backcourt against Emerson Ormond. Left side for Anderson. Right side for Belanti. 12 minutes to go. Anderson on the left wing. Back out to Belanti near midcourt.
that zone almost becomes kind of a 1-1-3 when they extend it out that high. They do a good job of taking away the high post. You typically don't find a much opening, on the straight top of the key for it. Occasionally, if you can get the ball with the post touch, it opens up on the wing. But they do just a really nice job of taking that away.
Good drive there, left it short, and then takes it away does Langrek. Passes it out to Subke. Sidney for three is left short. Hope Schulte comes away with the rebound. Katzenberger up ahead to Bewanti.
It's interesting, Steve, as I was thinking about Neillsville.
Oh, traveled with it.
Good thought. Again, she had the jump stop. Kind of thought maybe she could get that step through, one extra thought. But again, I like the way she's looking at offensively. If you look at Neillsville this year, the way they redid their sectionals, so they're in an interesting sectional. They're in with state-ranked number 5, Westfield, who just lost yesterday to Bonduelle. But with Hattie Schauwen and Carly Drew, Westfield's really a tough opponent for them. They're also in this year with Cuba City. And last night, Cuba City took on maybe state-ranked number 1 Arrowhead, and that was a 9-point ball game down at Waunakee. It was 51-42. Their sectional, whoever comes out of this with Neillsville, Westfield, and Cuba City is really going to be tough to beat down there. I would assume right now you're looking at either Phillips or McDonald Central out of that Northwest sectional.
Nice drive there by Sidney Subke, puts it in for 2.
And then, you're probably looking at, of course, Laconia, who right now undefeated, state-ranked number 1. That Division 4 sectional is going to be really, really interesting. But again, Neillsville's got a pretty good shot at it, but it's a much different sectional for them than what it's been in years past. And that Cuba City game could be outstanding to watch.
Katzenberger off the mark, rebounded by Maddie Dable for Neillsville.
That line's got me before, too, so kind of reaches up and grabs you from time to time.
Cuba City, an unbelievable, not just on the boys' side, but on the girls' side, an unbelievable history of girls' basketball as Subke buries it for 2 more. Jeff Pastina, and the rest of the Cubans. Amherst ran into Cuba City many times in the late 2000s at state.
That matchup, if you look ahead, and certainly it's a big if, but if you do get that Neillsville-Cuba City matchup, watching Olsen and Opelt, Olsen for Cuba City, and of course Opelt for Neillsville, is a terrific matchup, in terms of where it goes. And if I'm not mistaken, the other side of this sectional has got Fall Creek as well, right?
They could.
So I think you're talking on just their half of the sectional. You have the 3 teams we mentioned. And then, by the way, Fall Creek was one of the teams that's already beaten Neillsville this year, 36-33, waits on that other side as well. So really a tough path for that particular team. And, I think if you ask Coach Geyer, he'll tell you he wouldn't want it any other way. He consistently plays and battles a lot of close teams.
K&S is a family-owned and operated logistic company located in Greenwood. K&S provides domestic and less than truckload shipping solutions to destinations nationwide. From simple to complex, if you need to move it, we can find a flexible solution. K&S is currently looking for awesome people to join our driving team. Full-time, part-time, local, and long-haul positions available. Visit kslogs.com. Katzenberger picks up the foul. 48-20, 9:09 to go in the ball game here in Auburndale. Pack some stuff. I don't have to pack up. We don't really have to pack up tonight. We'll be back here tomorrow, but heading to Amherst tonight. Again, what I can imagine, and the very little homework I did. A lot of contact, and it's out of bounds to Auburndale. But the very little homework I've done so far about Amherst and Newman, it's got to be one of the first times since Newman has joined the WIAA that they have played a regular season game against each other. And there's going to be a foul on Sydney Subke, her third, with 8:52 to go.
I was going to say, I think back on the girls' side of it at the Kisslow Classic, maybe 6-7 years ago, I'd have to look back at it. I do think actually on the girls' side of it, we had an opportunity to play Amherst. If I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Jensen was still there, and it was one of the better Amherst squads in terms of where it goes. But it'll be interesting to see that. I think that the Newman girls are much improved. as we get a foul here, number 12 by Neillsville, that would be
Layla Walk.
Again, I think the Newman girls are much improved, and Amherst is definitely, they've got good size. I think that's going to be a fun ball game. And the Newman boys off to a 1-7 start, but Coach Wavogel's got a young team that is much improved there. And just kind of looking at some mutual scores, I wonder if that Newman Amherst boys game tonight won't be pretty competitive as well.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. There's a miss 3 there by Rose Hasenhorl. Again, a team that obviously Newman winning state last year on the boys' side and only going 1 or 2 guys off the bench. It's hard to get all that good drive there by Maddie Dable.
Steve, I think to your point, and again, I hate to come back to it one more time, but just to compliment Coach Geyer and the Neillsville Warriors and Coach Alwee and the Auburndale Eagles.
There's first basket for Maya Katzenberger tonight.
Very nice bucket there, post presence. I think when you talk about what you had said before, when you reload year after year after year, that's not something that you end up running into. If you look at what's happened in the Newman boys this year, it's taken some time to adjust. Auburndale lost 5 starters from last year's team, started off 7-0. And again, it's one of those deals where you're playing a team like Neillsville, which right now the score is a little bit more lopsided than what I think the game has felt like it's been. It's been pretty competitive back and forth. A couple big runs, including to start the game. Auburndale dug themselves a hole, and then they went through a little bit of a scoring drought. But these are 2 really high-quality teams, and it's impressive with how much each team lost from last year that they continue to be this productive.
And scheduling teams that, as you mentioned earlier, a good pass. Wow, what a finish. Nicely done by Maya Krings and the Auburndale Eagles. But obviously with the 2 losses that Neillsville has this year, as Paris Opel's going to get fouled, McDowell and Fall Creek both obviously in the Clover Belt West. So it's not the same as it is in the Merriwood, as the crossover games don't count towards your conference standings because they don't play everybody on the western side, but nonetheless, you play the top 2 teams in the crossover conference. It's pretty well off.
I think to that point, Steve, and again, if I get this wrong, please forgive me, but I think that coming into the year, Neillsville had a 55-game conference winning streak. I think they're 3-0 right now in conference. They're at least 3-0. Maybe it's more than that. 5-0. Okay, so that would be a 60-game conference winning streak. Now, it's interesting that the crossover games don't necessarily count towards that streak. So it's a 60-game Clover Belt East Conference winning streak. That's a lot of years to go. I mean, that's if that doesn't tell you how dominating the Warriors have been in, their division, I don't think anything else that I can tell you really does.
Yeah, and they were tested in the first half against Columbus. Columbus really couldn't miss in their game against Neillsville in the first half, and then Neillsville turned around and put their foot to the pedal and didn't really stop in the second half, but really haven't been tested in the conference per se this year, and likely won't.
And that's not to say, again, I think Greenwood's had a really nice year,
yes,
and that side of the conference. I think Columbus Catholic is a team that's definitely on the come. Their youth program is excellent. New coach over there is having some press, is providing some pressure. That's been a good thing. And Loyal is a sneaky good team in terms of where, they just do a really nice job with that pack line defense. And that's another game you have to be really dialed into, because Loyal can play with just about anybody on a given night.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that a couple weeks ago, or 10 days ago or so. They went over to Stratford, knocked off the Tigers on the road to pick up a big non-conference win. 6 minutes to go here, 50-24. Neillsville on top. That's going to be out of bounds to Neillsville. Here from Express Employment. Find your next career path with just a phone call to Express Employment Professionals with locations in Wausau, Stevens Point, and Marshfield. No matter where you are in central Wisconsin, save yourself some time and find your next employer at expresspros.com. Sydney Supke to inbound, finds Maddie Dable. And we'll see Auburndale again tomorrow against Lena. A another game that we expect to be very, very good. As Paul mentioned in the first half, Lena, a team that has high hopes coming out of a sectional this year. So we'll see how, I don't even know what Lena's mascot is, but we'll see how Lena comes to Auburndale tomorrow.
If I'm not mistaken, the last time I looked at Lena, they were 7-0, so I don't know if they have lost it all in conference, if they've lost what have you, but that could be another potential matchup of undefeateds there, or another undefeated opponent for Auburndale. And again, I think it'll go a long way for Lena, and obviously that's a nice strength of schedule game for Auburndale if they can go ahead and get that win. I think that's a pretty important game tomorrow.
Kylie Anderson picks up the foul against Maddie Dable. 5:21 to go. Get instant savings at Fleet Farm. Skip the wait and take $10 off your purchase of $75 or more. In-store or online. Shop now and save on gifts for others or maybe even a gift for yourself. Shop all your favorite everyday essentials and save at Fleet Farm. Parasol Pelt pull-up jumper may have been partially blocked by Belanti, but still left short and taken by Auburndale with 5:10 to go.
Opelt's had it sounds really funny to say this out loud. She's had a very quiet 19 today. Like, it's just been a very workman-like effort. She has been able to get to the basket or get her shot off anytime she wants, and I think that talks to how smooth of a ball player she's been.
Foul goes on Auburndale. Team foul number 6 with 5 minutes to go. Just past 2 o'clock here in Central Wisconsin. Steve Match, Paul Jaglinski, Josh Bush. Auburndale High School for the Girls Invitational this year. Not really a tournament with only 3 teams. Sydney Supke doesn't get stopped until she gets to the free throw line. Missed and still got her own rebound. Auburndale Lena tonight. It'll be Neillsville Augusta at 6 o'clock as Supke off the mark. Neillsville Augusta boys at 6. Auburndale WIAA at 7:30. Ben Brecht will be here for those 2 games tonight. Timeout's going to be taken by Neillsville. 4:34 to go. It is a 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
Need a new mattress? Mall Furniture in downtown Marshfield has mattresses, and you can save like never before. We have stacks of mattresses, save big on factory liquidations and closeouts, one-of-a-kind items, and mismatched fabrics. Save on special purchases and rollback pricing on 2-sided flippable mattresses. Discounts on adjustable bases and even clearance pricing on floor models.
The furniture people for good home furnishings. Mall Furniture, where value is yours.
Inbounding out of the timeout, Maddie Dable spins in the lane. Left hand is good. Maddie for 2 more. 14 tonight for the freshman. 52-24, 4:20 to go in the ball game. Another turnover by Auburndale. 52-24. Katie Lecton will have the call of the first game in Amherst tonight. Amherst and Newman Catholic girls at 6 o'clock. I'll be on the call with Paul at 7:30 if decides to come over to the Tomorrow River School District in Amherst.
Always looking forward to getting back to Amherst with Steve and his own stopping grounds. It's one of those deals where Steve's a little mini celebrity no matter where he goes, but I assume that's going to especially be the case at Amherst.
Yeah, a lot of kids I don't know anymore out of school for, goodness, it's going to be year 12 in May. I always have fine memories of this gym in high school, of Auburndale High School, as Coach Geyer is going to clean out his bench. Came here in March of 2012, knocked off the number 1 seeded at that time, Auburndale Apaches. And it's going to be bonus free throws coming out for Neillsville. But always have fond memories of Auburndale. And Jim, I will tell you, did not look like this. 12 years ago, the floor was not this not this pristine, I'll tell you.
Two of the things that's always outstanding about coming to Auburndale is, first of all, the crowd is always outstanding. This is a basketball community that absolutely loves the game. And two, to your point, the facilities are always just top notch. The gym itself is really, really nice. As I said, it's one of the best tables in the conference. They just really do a good job from start to finish.
Shane Garth off the mark, and Katzenberger resets things with Taylor Anderson. Maya Krings with 3:30 to go here in the first half. Or, excuse me, in the game, not first half. Rocket pass down low to Sydney Wolf, and she'll head to the free throw line for a couple of free throws. Will Wolf. Don't forget, today's broadcast brought to you in part by Culligan Water. Get Culligan Water for only $9.95 a month for the first 3 months. Visit Sterling Culligan Water at CulliganH2O.com. That's CulliganH20.com. Wolf's first free throw is good. 3:19 to go, 52-25. Also, Dahlman Insurance, the Dahlman Insurance Agency, LLC, family-owned and operated, covering homes, businesses, and farms in the Midwest, Wisconsin since 1978. Dahlman Insurance is an independent agency, so they can find the best rate for the coverage for your unique situation. They have offices in Greenwood and Thorpe and service customers throughout the Midwest. Find them at DahlmanInsurance.com. Dahlman Insurance, come for the rates, stay for the service.
One final compliment to both of these coaches that I think is really telling when you look at a game from a coaching perspective. First and foremost, even though the game is a little bit lopsided, both teams still playing hard. That's I think a sign of two well-coached teams. And second of all, even though Coach Geyer emptied his bench, did a shift change, the old hockey shift change, the quality of play that Neillsville is able to go ahead and bring in with those, with their bench players is still very high. And that's also a tribute to what type of a program Coach Geyer and the Neillsville Warriors have.
A couple of substitutions here for Auburndale. Paige Swenson and Lillian Grube for the Eagles. With 2.5 to go, 52-25. Neillsville will improve now to 9-2 on the year. Auburndale will drop their first game of the season, but again, not a bad team to drop your first game to, as Emerson Orman knocks down the triple. And all helps with the strength of schedule, and Neillsville and Lena tomorrow, no matter the outcome, will help tremendously with Auburndale's hope for a nice playoff seed. 2 minutes to go, 57-25. No interviews after today's broadcast, as told the only time we need interviews this week with 21 games today. As Kylie Anderson may have been partially blocked. There's a foul. But game-winning shots or big-time milestones or crazy scoring outbursts for interviews after games today. So stick around. Maybe tonight in Amherst we'll have post-game interviews and the likes of that. Tessa Warren getting ready to check in, a tall freshman for Coach Geyer. Tall, lanky, and skinny.
You can see the future of the Neillsville program continues to look bright. Losing Paris will definitely change the dynamic of that particular team, but Neillsville is going to be solid going forward. And again, I don't think that you can compliment enough the young group that Auburndale has and how talented this group looks like they're going to be. I think, if you give them a year or two in that 26-27 season, this team could be really, really loaded. I mean, they'll be competitive, obviously, at 7-0 start beforehand, but you could be looking at a state-level team good at that particular program in a couple of years.
99 seconds to go. Turnover by Neillsville.
That sounded like my Christmas weekend, 99 seconds. It's just every time I looked around, there's a plate of food, and I'm like, well, I should eat it, I think I'm about cherry bomb cookie, about number 306 at this point, by the way, Steve. So
Yeah, if we could make Christmas desserts 365 days a year, I mean, I would. I probably wouldn't be in the best of health, but sure would be happy.
I feel like that's a challenge. I should definitely bring some cherry bombs along tonight. So for those of you that tune in, we'll have some of those little chocolate covered cherry cookies. We'll get Steve to try one and see if he likes it. How about that?
Pull up jumper is good there for Olivia Langrek. Not a big cherry guy, but always up for trying new cookies. That's for sure. 50 seconds to go here as I've got two pretty good women in my life that make outstanding cookies. My mom and my wife make outstanding cookies, and get pretty spoiled this time of the year as Coach Geyer putting in a couple more here as Elena Mathis got 54's Mathis. 42 is Mercedes Bales.
And 40.
And 40 is Ella Dittner. So good to just get them into play, some varsity minutes. Again, no JV at these tournaments, so get them in for a couple of minutes here at the end of the game. Kylie Anderson comes away with it for Auburndale. All the way to the basket, left hand off the mark, tipped up. And chokehold there, but nothing too egregious like what's his name, Draymond Green.
Well, I'll tell you that's amazing to see Draymond. I hope that whatever he does that the suspension calms him down a little bit. He's such a good ball player to have that kind of a weird issue.
Yep, absolutely. And that will do it here this afternoon. Final score, it'll be Neillsville 59, Auburndale 25. Paul, thank you for coming by, and see you in Amherst in a couple of hours. Josh Bush producing here. He'll be producing the two games with our good friend Olivia Zimmerman later on tonight. Again, for all of us at Celeste Sports, thank you for tuning in. Hear from our friends at Neillsville Dairy, in our Neillsville Dairy post-game show. We'll talk to you again in Amherst in about 5 hours. Again, thank you for tuning in. We'll have boys basketball tonight. Neillsville, Augusta at 6. Auburndale, WIAA Fremont at 7:30. We'll talk to you again then here on Celeste Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman. Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Neillsville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fear, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Keflatiri, Kefla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.